welcome to In the Rising podcast. My name is Bettina, and this is the platform I have chosen to talk about living a life that's most in alignment with your hopes, your dreams, and your goals, and leaving behind that shame-blame game that does really nothing for you but keep you in a downward spiral. And so I like to start off by saying I'm not a licensed counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist, anything of that, but I am a healthcare professional who has had many conversations with people going through physical pain and realizing there's a lot of emotional attachment to all of this. So I like to figure out what makes us tick. And so I want to talk about being positive today. Is being positive really always the best thing for you? And I found out because I was having a conversation with a friend. There's a backstory. And she was saying, I'm just tired of always being positive. Like I want to look on the positive, but I just feel irritated. I just feel angry and over it. I'm over it, Bettina. And she said, I feel guilty about feeling that way. And I just in my gut did not feel that we have to be positive all the time, even though I start off every positive, with a positive note on my podcast and, live your best life. But is living your best life really being positive all the time? So there I was on Google, because Google has a lot of answers. And I found this thing called toxic positivity, which is the overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state that results in denial, minimalization, and invalidation of the authentic human emotional experience. So it results in denial and minimalization and invalidation. So being positive constantly, it's not because you want to be positive, but you're not recognizing the other part of life, which is not always positive, right? And so I went into more research and looking about some myths that we attribute to negativity and feel, especially nowadays, that we have to be positive. And so one of those myths, number one, is asking logical, rational questions and looking to upgrade your life means you see nothing but negativity. And that's not true. That's not true at all. To look at your life and be grateful, and we hear that all the time. You got to be in your gratitude. I say it all the time. I am in my gratitude, but that does not mean that I'm so grateful I'm content to never upgrade my life, to never upgrade to a four-wheel drive car, to never upgrade to having more money, to never upgrade to go on vacations more often, to never upgrade to downgrade the number of hours I work. It does not take away the gratitude that I have. But it is me looking at life from a rational standpoint. Is this where I'm at because it's convenient for someone else? And sometimes that someone else is a person in your life. And let's face it, sometimes that someone else is an entity, i.e. your job, because it's to their benefit to keep you good where you are. That doesn't mean you're not grateful for your job, but it does mean you have your eyes open. It does not mean that you're negative about your circumstances, but it does mean that you are aware. So in that moment, I do not feel that asking these rational questions or wanting to upgrade your life is in some way negative. It's looking at your life. It would be to invalidate your current situation, to feel everything's great about it. The other myth that we have is that being negative is being real. No. Being negative is this constant negativity about life will always be bad and it's going to be worse. And it's kind of like the Eeyore complex. Everything is bad. With this Eeyore, there's always, always, always a cloud above him. And it's always going to rain and it's always going to be bad. But if you are in the middle of a hurricane, it is bad. And that's not being negative, it's being real. When your car is flying past you, your house is being leveled, it's not negative to say something that's not happy for you is currently happening. And so it's one thing to have the cloud over your head. It's another to actually be in a storm and call it what it is, which is not fun. And yes, we can look at the greater picture and go, you know what? Maybe that was one way to get out of this house. Maybe we ended up moving to a better neighborhood. Maybe we moved closer to our family now. This was the push that we really needed. There can be a positive out of it, but it doesn't mean that in the middle of that storm, you have to be positive in the moment. Being real and being realistic does have some grounding effect. It means you have both feet on the floor and you are figuring out what is going on right now. So I like that. Being negative is not equal to being real. Being real is truth and honesty. And the other myth is that being super positive is better than being super negative. And I also feel that that is incorrect. The way this author writes it is we need polarities to live a well-balanced, grounded, authentic life. And that is true. We do have in our life, we swing back and forth. There is a positive, there's a negative. That is just part of nature. You have an opposite, a summer and a winter. Yes, we have these transition times, but it literally is negative, and you need that. In your day-to-day life, you have your positive, I guess, where you're awake, and you have your negative where you're laying down asleep. You need both of them to equalize. You need both of those to feel that you can recuperate. So it is the ebb and the flow of life that is important and necessary for all of us. So is being truthful always equal to being negative? No. Does not mean we're always positive either, but it is that ebb and flow. So if you are, a friend of mine said, I'm just in a funk. I just don't feel like I want to be happy. I just don't feel like I want to look at the situation and feel, well, what can I learn out of it? I'm irritated. She goes, I'm irritated, Bettina. I'm irritated. And that was okay to feel that. And it is okay to feel that. And yes, there can be other reasons for it. Maybe you're irritated at situation B because situation A is such a big problem. It's good to recognize it. But it is also okay to not have everything be going your way and being positive all the time. And the last myth I want to talk about is that being positive is automatically good, because it isn't. A lot of times this constant positivity is a way to hide behind and pretend that nothing needs to change. Because if we're positive all the time and it's a positive experience, well, if it's so positive, why change it? I feel like this goes back to that first example. If you have people in your life that are not good for you, if you're at a current workplace that is not allowing you or giving you opportunity to change and grow because it is for their advantage to keep you where you are, well, how is that hiding the fact that you really do want to move up? You really do. And now up does not mean up as in title. It means up as in growth. Up can mean anything to anyone, So having toxic positivity does result in this denial, minimalization, and invalidation of your experience. So it may be a great positive thing to stop once in a while and look like, am I being negative because it's convenient? It's easy to be negative, right? It's easy to fall down. It's easy to destroy. It takes energy. It takes work. It takes thoughtfulness to put things together, to build something. So in that moment, recognize that this feeling of being negative or real is maybe the wake-up call that your body needs or your mind needs to go forward with something, to make a different decision, to go a different route in the fork in the road, anything of that nature. Being always positive is not our goal in life. I don't believe should be our goal in life. Being balanced is. And balanced is a verb. It's not a noun. It's not some place, some utopia we're going to go reach. There's not a work-life balance, as in it's just something you get. It's something you do. It's something you do every single day to figure out where you can be comfortable and still progress with your family relationships and still progress at work. That is having a positive attitude. Just as with the positive and negative, it's a place of going back and forth because that allows us to grow. So I hope you like some of these ideas. I appreciate it if you would leave me a message or, give me some ideas. I've gotten some great messages and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the topic ideas. So I appreciate the time you've given me today because you know what? This time you don't get back. And I want to talk to you guys again next week. And until then, let's keep building one another up.